Mounce, BBG, chapter 33, sentence 5. Interesting one. Hopefully this first verb didn't give you any trouble because you saw that epsilon in the end. You said, well, that's got a typical imperative ending that I ought to see by now. This one might throw you, however, until you realize that it basically is just shifting from an imperative for the first word to a subjunctive for the second verb. So, and that's okay. And the reason is you got that may there, even though it's part of may keti, still the fact that it's got may there, you ought to be able to see that that's probably going to be followed by a subjunctive. Okay, so going back to the beginning then, he says, hopefully you recognize this is from exerchomai, right? But it would be ex aelphon, which would be the aorist. So hopefully you recognize that ex erchomai goes to ex aelphon, but in the imperative you got the same thing where that augment drops off, and then you got that second singular typical ending for an imperative, and it's something like go out. Go out from him, right? Or go out of him, and no longer. And then here we have the subjunctive, it's second singular, OSA, but of course with the elongated connecting vowel gives you tells you that it's a subjunctive. And here from acerchomai, and hopefully you recognize, this same animals here that you saw in the first one, right? So that should clue you in. Ace erchomai goes to ace aelphon, but again, the augment drops off. You got the elongated connecting vowel, tells you it's a subjunctive. This tells you that it's, oops, sorry about that. This tells you that it's second singular, and then you got an aorist subjunctive. So in this case, may you go in, right? Something like may you go in into him, right? So you notice how it's you got the repetition of the idea of out and the repetition of the idea of in both of those clauses. But again, going back to the beginning then, recognizing that this is an imperative and this is a subjunctive, it's go out of him, and you may no longer enter in or go into him or enter into him, something like that will work.